Hiya everybody, this is me 3 years ago doing a Chick-fil-A mukbang in my car. I was yapping on about post-grad anxiety, working a job I had already outgrown, and really just wasn't certain about what career path I desired to follow. The only two things I actually cared about for real and prayed on consistently concerning my future job was that number one, it allowed me to travel, and number two, it didn't feel like work because I enjoyed it so much. Fast forward 5 months later, God granted me my heart's desires. Here are 5 reasons why you should become a flight attendant in 2024. Number 1, self-development. I believe it was important to put this reason first, so that way you don't think I'm about to sell you this dream of this perfect, high salary, glamorized, all travels and smiles, easy peasy, waitress in the sky type of job. Absolutely not. In fact, a large percentage of flight attendants, at least within the first 6 months, are struggling mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, and any other LEs you can think of. And a major reason being is because this job is not your typical 9 to 5. It requires an entire lifestyle change. It requires you to constantly be away from home, which can heavily affect work-life balance. Sleep deprivation, stress, potential health risks, and a lack of funds are all just a few more obstacles to overcome. Now, I didn't name these things off just to shoot down your lifelong dream career, but to kind of remove the fantasy that can sometimes be painted around this job. I've slept a night or two in the airport or more. I've cried a couple tears of frustration thanks to crew scheduling. I've spent Christmas Day completely alone in a city miles away from home. And there's been times when my bank account had me like, you know what, an air sandwich don't sound too bad right now. So where does the self-development come into play? Well, I truly believe that overcoming all of these challenges of becoming a flight attendant develops you into a more resilient version of yourself. And not only that, but I've also learned the importance of punctuality, patience, assertiveness, communication skills, working as a team, situational awareness, learning to enjoy your own company, and you also begin to cherish the times that you do get to spend with family a lot more. I also know for a fact I was able to grow so much spiritually on my walk with God once I started this job because it required me to leave my hometown. The familiar, all the voices, everything that I was used to was silenced. Everybody's personal self-development from this job will look different. But just you stepping outside the box and doing something outside of a traditional job will benefit you in some way. And even if you don't end up liking the job and you don't end up staying, you'll still be able to say, wow, I was actually a flight attendant for 6 months. You can say, I tried this new thing, and although it wasn't for me personally, it's definitely an experience I'll never forget. Number 2, excitement and unpredictability. One thing that the panoramic taught me, I would not survive a work from home job. I gotta be outside getting some vitamin D somewhere. And then going back and forth to an office is definitely a step up. But imagine a job where you had no idea what city you'd end up in within the next 24 hours. For some people, this sounds like an absolute nightmare. But for those that are adventurous and crave like a little bit of razzle dazzle in your everyday life, this may be the job for you. Something that's so refreshing about being a flight attendant is that your schedule will never look the same as it did last week compared to this week. This is why flight attendants endure those first few months or years of what feels like an extended hell week. Being able to visit different places across the globe, even if you just decide to slam click and watch Netflix in the room all day, it's still a switch up from the everyday mundane clock in and clock out. And honestly, I'd say reserve flight attendants have more of that exciting, unpredictable wow factor than line holders do. So definitely don't take your time on reserve for granted. Always be sure to pack for any occasion, from a swimsuit to a light hoodie, everything in between. Number 3, flexibility. Not only is your schedule as a flight attendant unpredictable, but also it's extremely flexible. Now, this is something that comes with seniority, so it's what makes those first few years of being on reserve worth the wait. And that's even if you have to wait that long, depending on your airline. I ended up becoming a line holder exactly 1 year after I started, and now I love the freedom of being able to choose my own schedule. You can fly as little or as much as you want, which also opens up the possibility of securing a second job or hobby. Let's say you have a birthday party to attend next week or a doctor's appointment. No need to request time off from the boss weeks in advance. All you gotta do is drop your scheduled trip at the click of a button at least 24 hours in advance, and voila, schedule is free. Number 4, meeting new people. With this job, you're usually never working with the same people over and over again, and you come across hundreds of new passengers every single day. Your entertainment options while in the air are pretty limited, especially if you're a working flight attendant. And this is exactly how the term Jump Seat Chronicles was created. It's become clear to me that a lot of people are more comfortable venting to absolute strangers that they'll probably never see again, rather than family members, friends, and tight-knit coworkers, kind of similar to a therapist. So be prepared, because you may just hear a juicy story or two. But the social aspect of this job can also open the door to lifelong friendships, a future hubby, or even a business partner. Now let's say you end up working with a person that you don't necessarily click with. Chances are you'll probably never come across them again. So all you gotta do is get through the next few days cordially. And if you do happen to come across them again, you can drop or swap your trip if it was just that awful. But yeah, the networking opportunities at this job are endless, and you never know who you'll end up meeting. I was honestly not much of a people person before this job. Like, I was extremely introverted and shy. But now I'm like a little bit, I don't know, like an extroverted introvert. Like, I'll have conversations, when it calls for it, and then I'll go recharge later in the room. But yeah, I'm forever grateful for this job for getting me more out of my shell. And last but not least, we have travel perks. Time to get into the good stuff. The absolute best reason to have this job by a landslide would definitely be for the travel benefits. In this day and age's economy, most corporate jobs only award you around 2 to 3 vacations per year, and that's if you actually got the funds to travel. So those with wanderlust and a desire for more freedom in their everyday lives may find the flight attendant lifestyle a bit more fulfilling and enjoyable. And a large argument that I hear against this is, oh, flight attendants are so broke they can't even afford to enjoy their layovers. And to this I have to say, believe it or not, some people can actually enjoy exploring different destinations with just their own 2 legs and sightseeing. And even sitting on a balcony with a gorgeous ocean view or laying poolside is more worth it to me than working a high-paying job that confines me into 4 walls for 8 hours a day. So it all comes down to personal priorities. Some people can make it work and others can't. As for actual travel benefits outside of layovers, you're able to fly anywhere domestically for free. And for any international destination, you only pay the taxes for that ticket. Now keep in mind that this is standby, so these are not confirmed seats, but it's a risk that all flight attendants are willing to take. And these perks aren't only for the airline that you're employed with, but other contracted airlines as well. You get the same exact benefits on them. Your immediate friends and family get benefits as well. Your parents fly free, your children fly free, and you get buddy passes each year for your friends to fly on. So really the whole team can eat. Now, yes, it is true that you may not be able to fully exercise the use of your travel benefits until you have some type of seniority behind you, because this job is heavily based on seniority. So when you see flight attendants out here living their best life on a whole bunch of vacations, chances are they hold some seniority, they're line holders, and their pay is pretty decent. So they have the funds and the flexible schedule to do so. So you may not experience this perk until later down the line, But once you do, you'll look back and be like, wow, like that struggle was so worth it. Okay, so boom, these are the top 5 reasons why I believe you should become a flight attendant in 2024. And I did my absolute best to highlight both the good and the not so good in this video, but at the end of the day, you will never know how you'll like this job if you don't step out and try it personally. When I researched this job, I watched and read so many videos and blogs on people's experiences, the negative and the positive, but I still decided to go out and try it for myself, and I ended up loving it. But the main reason I wanted to make this video is because lately I've noticed that a large majority of comments that I get on my flight attendant videos now are either from people that are under 21 commenting that they can't wait until they turn 21 to apply, or there's people that are like 40 and up, and maybe their kids are grown now and going off to live their lives, and they're empty nesters, so they've been thinking about starting this job, and they be asking me like, am I too old? Like, they be a little nervous to start over so late in life, I guess. But I want to say, if you on this video right now, you obviously been thinking about becoming a flight attendant, so go ahead and take that leap and try it out. Because let's be honest, this is an interesting job that a lot of people may glorify from the outside looking in, and other people may have nothing but negative things to say about it. But you'll never know what it's truly like for you until you actually step out and try it. Do all the research you can, take every personal experience with a grain of salt, and then just go all in with an open mind. And say it don't end up working out for you, that is 100% okay. You'll still be able to say, wow, I tried something new, I endured through it and got a new experience. That is far more rewarding than never venturing out and taking the leap at all. And just like I said, this job is highly based on seniority, so give it at least 6 months to a year, and I promise you it gets better over time. So yeah, I hope to see everybody in the skies very, very soon. I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to y'all in my next video.